welcome back to the broadcast. We're here with Laurie Goyen and just getting so much inspiration. I love everything you have to say. We just kept talking during our break, so I want to just go right back there and continue sharing your inspirational story with others. How did you get this book going?
Well, again, I was inspired by what happened with Blake, because I remember telling Doug, this has to be written down, not only for therapeutic reasons, but also because I thought it would help somebody. So there was a real purpose. I had a feeling of purpose that I needed to get this story out. There was a journey that led me to writing the book, though, and it involved me stepping out of my comfort zone. And a lot of times I think what you're called to do requires you to step outside of your comfort zone. I think Courtney said something about if your dreams aren't scaring you, then they're not big enough.
It's
It's
true.
kind of like the same thing where I'd always been deathly afraid of speaking in front of people in public. I'm a social person, you wouldn't think, but something about putting me in front of people and I think that's real common, a lot of people share that. Well, it bothered me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I think the reason it bothered me is because I think there was the Holy Spirit was probably saying, okay, get this taken care of because I want to use you this way, but it required me stepping into it. So I took Toastmasters classes. No one was asking me to speak. I was doing this myself.
Wait a minute. Okay. You hadn't written the book, though.
No, but this led to it.
Well, all right, so I'm going to ask you a question. Did you write the book so you'd get more speeches?
No.
Are you
honestly,
sure?
With all of my heart and soul, I wrote that book because I felt that he wanted me to, and I was just the vessel that was just
Okay, so
for a reason, for a purpose to help
But you wrote
others.
the book to help others get through whatever chaos they're going through. But in the speaking world, a lot of people who aren't speakers write a book. They're told to write a book, which will then give them a platform to go be a speaker.
It's so
and
funny.
the two are totally different. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to you from a speaking standpoint. If you've not liked getting up in front of people, how are you going to get over that? Tell me how you've learned. By practice?
Well, it's something I always wanted to do. I just had a fear of it. I'd
Okay.
see somebody else speaking, and I'd
'Cause
be like, I want to do that, but I'm just too
But
scared.
you didn't feel that you'd be accepted.
I was afraid that I would crash like I did in the 5th grade when I was giving a book report, and I just died a slow death in front of everybody, and it was just awful. So I thought that was going to happen, and it stayed with me my whole life, and it bothered me because I wanted to be good at it, but I wasn't. So I just stepped out of my comfort zone and into a nudge, and I took Toastmasters. No one was asking me to speak. So I signed myself up to speak at church in front of my peers, which was huge.
Good.
And then when I got some validation there, it grew my confidence because I
Yes.
always wanted to write. It led to this.
Oh, yours led from speaking to the writing.
Yes, and so then this really nice man at our church came up to me after I spoke at one of our classes, and he said, have you ever thought about doing public speaking? And I thought, me? It was just like, okay, it was validating. Okay, when you step into your nudge, something that you've always wanted to do, but maybe you were uncomfortable, look where it can lead. So then we met up at the church over coffee, and he said that he was in the publishing world. And I said, well, I've been thinking about writing because I feel confident that maybe people would be interested in what I have to say now. He said, just start writing. And that's what I did, and that led to this.
Who edited it?
Well, I had my own independent freelance editor. I had actually 2 people. Her name was Roseanne Catalano, and there's resources where you can go and find different editors, and you submit your manuscript, and they will bid on it if they want to do it. Not everybody will want to edit your book.
Yes.
And then they'll also give you a bid, and so you kind of go from there.
But you have to know the person, because if you're writing the book, you need an editor that can speak in your own voice.
I just felt she was going to be good.
This is in Laurie's voice. This book is in your voice. And I'm going to say something to you. You've got to tell us about Blake. How is he today?
He's 100%.
See?
Awesome.
He's 100%. He had no lasting effects, which a lot of people that have ADOM, which is what he had, have residual effects, and he didn't. So we're very blessed.
Her journey is beautifully written in this book. Laurie, whom you've just listened to, has a whole lot of things going for her. And one of the things I think is going to be the biggest is she'll be telling her story through her voice, not just through her words. We'll be back.